with how that's gone so far, and looking forward to the games we're going to see from them.
All right, well, tell us who's joining the fold.
Well, I am very pleased to announce that we will be acquiring InXile Entertainment in Newport Beach, California.
Wow, so tell us a little bit about InXile. Congratulations. Tell us about that studio, because there's quite a history with it.
Yeah, led by Brian Fargo. It's just a great studio made up of creative people, really dedicated to the craft, long RPG lineage there. They've made games such as the Wasteland series, and of course Bard's Tale. Bard's Tale 4 recently came out, and it's doing great. So we're just really excited to have that team, the people, the craft, joining what we do.
Now, when you work with the team and everyone at Microsoft, you look at the portfolio, and you're looking for studios that really round it out, right?
You know, we look more for starting with the people and the teams. I don't really have a checklist of certain genres or kinds of games. It's more, who are the people, who are the creative leads, and what's their dedication to really excellence? And we've seen that in InXile.
Now, we've got a video from InXile, so we have a special message from Brian Fargo himself. Let's take a look.
Joining the Microsoft team is going to allow us to spend all of our energies crafting the game experience. It allows us to tap into the incredible Microsoft ecosystems that is second to none in the development world. Of course, we're going to continue doing role-playing games. We love the world building, we love the sense of immersion, and we love when all of the game's pieces come together. And even better is that the DNA of the company will remain exactly the same. And this deal is going to allow us to make role-playing games for many years to come. I'm very excited, and needless to say, I'm not going to be retiring anytime soon.
Now that's great, Matt, and that's really excited to welcome to the studio, but that's one. We talked about two. So who else is joining the family?
We're also very happy to announce that we will be acquiring Obsidian Entertainment in Irvine, California.
Wow. Now, Obsidian, that's again, another great studio. Tell us about some of their work.
Well, they just have a great history of working with a number of publishers, making great games like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, South Park, Stick of Truth, their own IP like Pillars of Eternity. Again, an indie studio that's really held together over the last decade and made some great games.
Now, our new friends at Obsidian have produced a great piece highlighting what they're all about. Let's take a look at just a snippet.
An Obsidian game is something really special, and it's really an interesting mix of different gaming concepts. It's born out of tabletop role-playing games where you can kind of do anything you want.
They are great with story, great with character, great with reactivity. I've often described it as it's not a story-driven game, it's a player-driven story.
When I think of Obsidian, I think of role-playing games, specifically some of my favorite ones, Fallout New Vegas, Stick of Truth, Pillars of Eternity. I actually played that before I ever interviewed with the company, and I remember thinking like, whoa, the writing like blew me away.
It's about player agency. Like there's stats and there's dialogue and there's combat and there's all this kind of thing, but in the end it's really about giving people the ability to be who they want to be and make decisions that truly impact what's happening in the game.
Now that's amazing news, Matt. Now by count, you talked about it, that is 13 new studios to the mix. Now back at E3, we had this big screen with all the different studios. I think it's time we update that, don't you? So let's go ahead and update that. Add those two brand new studios, which now are part of the Microsoft family, right?
Yeah, that's great. And I would just like to say, with these studios, we're going to keep them independent as we have. And even though InXile and Obsidian share some past going back, I really want to stress we're going to keep them unique and preserve the cultures that they've got.
Now, you're in charge of the portfolio for Xbox, for first-party portfolio. That's got to feel great. You must feel really good about the future now, because you're looking way up the pipeline.
Yeah, I am just tremendously excited and privileged. It's a great honor to be able to work with such creative teams. And some of these teams are going to have games that are going to come out soon. They've had some things in the works.
Right.
But mostly we feel really set up to give our fans new exclusive games for Xbox and a great pipeline of new things going into Game Pass.
And that's what they love. They love all of the things you just mentioned. All right, thank you so much. For you, set quite a bar for yourself and Inside Xbox.